Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh,
Yes, sir.
good morning.
Sir,
Good,
good morning.
Morning, sir.
good morning. Yeah, we'll start with a lesson. In the last class, we are discussing on how the receive SMS that we had discussed at first. Same thing, the broadcast receive, using that receiver only, we can do that particular thing. So receive function we have to use there that we had discussed. Especially yesterday, interesting thing we have discussed is about an location based services. So, sorry, location service LBS that we had discussed yesterday. So that how the location tracking we can do and how what is the necessity of the location, how we can include the Google Maps in our apps and how with the Google apps, Google Maps, what you can do and all, how a Google Map is interesting, what are the two ways of Google Maps will be there, which is a default one that is like streets, whatever is there, like map it will show, and satellite view also will be there in Google Maps. So that we had discussed, and we have discussed the different functions, what are its useful even for making a different things there, how you can do the reverse geo locations, means how you can track it and how you can locate a particular place and all, how you can pin the particular place or a location there. So that is another one important thing which we had discussed. So we'll go to the now PPT and we'll recall once what we have did and all, and then we'll go further. Right. So I'll start with the PPT here. Right. So back here that yesterday how we have did about location based things. Just we'll recall that and we'll go back with this one. Location based services (LBS), which is one of the very important functionality in apps that I have given examples for you also today. Almost all apps wherever the service oriented apps is there at an doorsteps and all. So almost all we are using that location based services, and we have to locate a particular place there also, and different wherever you are moving, means in knowing a different places, especially so that and all. Today, especially yesterday, I have seen one particular advertisement, especially when you see the means Telugu channels. In that, one of the Hyderabad company, they have made one. App that is a public visit or a public friend. So that app, what it will do whenever you go to a new places and all, it will assist you the important places of that particular city, and means which are the best restaurants based on your taste, and which are the best hotels there, like that. So particularly whichever place you gone, and if you ask, it will list out all the things based on different cost criterias also, like that. Means many businesses is there with this particular service, and that's why I'm telling it's one of the very important service. So displaying a maps, that have we discussed that Google Maps will come with the means we are going to use that, and what for changing a view we can change longitude and latitude, we can extract from that, reverse decoding we can do, and Google Maps also means you can pin that. So how you have to insert that means separately, it will be not with an SDK, and you have to download separate Google APIs, especially maps.jar, that you have to download, and you have to put that in obtaining the API key of that particular Google Maps. You can do your test. So you can do that in a package explorer, and you can put that in a package explorer. So especially how a view of the particular map will be there. Just a minute. Somebody, they will always interrupt.
ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಮೈಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಸರ್
ಮತ್ತೆ sorry. So back. So you can change your views also. As I told you that set satellite view and as well as so ordinary map view will be there, and then coming with even a traffic views, means street based on that particular street, how much traffic will be there based on the vehicle moving. That is, if it is of more than 50 kilometers per hour, it will take a green, yellow 25 to 50 miles, red will be there. Using this, you can do your own things. That I've given an example also. So navigating to a specific location. So this is animate to function you can use, and map controller class you can use, and you can do the things. Right. So that is another, that things will be very useful there. So adding a markers, so means which place is particularly, which location is important, that and all. So getting a location that was touched. So this event, so we have yesterday we have discussed that if you touch a particular location, so how you can show that particular location, details about that particular location and all you can show, means a particular restaurant I will click, means I will touch, then automatically where is that particular restaurant, and what will be the task, something like that, something about that you can display based on your requirements. So that will be there. Coming to the next, G coding and the reverse G coding, that also we have discussed how you can get a longitude and latitude of the particular place, getting location data and all that also we have discussed. Monitoring a location, particularly one for a frequent of time, you can monitor the location also, what changes is going on there. So that also you can do using Google Maps. Now coming to today's session, that is networking. Now what is this networking, which will be very important thing will be there. So how you can interact your app with HTTP protocol, means how to talk to the web services. That is very much important. Do you know how we have gone with an SMS, and how we have solved the SMS problem, messaging emails and all? We have known how we can do that. But interacting with a web, downloading the data from that particular web, for example, I will tell you, connecting to a cloud. Now, this is very important concept which will be there. I will tell you one project example here. Assume just will take that master level only. See, two ways you can do there. As I told you that from GPRS directly you can take that particular SMS, and so you can switch on the pump based on a master level where data will not be stored. Why? Because it will directly, SMS will go to from that particular IoT device, the message will go directly to mobile. So this is means later on for analysis purpose, means if you want to analyze one particular thing as a app developer, you doesn't have any data. So for this, what usually we will do, we'll go with the clouds, that is Firebase you can use or ThinkSpeak you can use, and you're going to connect this Firebase or a ThinkSpeak or a Blink to that particular device, where automatically the information, whatever data will be there, will be sent to that particular cloud, and there the data will be stored in a database where further things you can use later. And then the question arises how I can connect my app, means whatever the user has to know the notifications, right? Means wherever the moisture level is high, so that automatically the information notification should come to the user, and user app, whatever app we have created there, automatically it should give the notification that moisture level is less, switch on the pump. So means the pump button should be there on and off. If he clicks on, then automatically pump should be on wherever it may be in place through the internet. So this things how you can do the things and alpha, means how you can connect your app to the web or on a cloud in through XML files and all, how you can extract data, how JSON files you can make, means how you can through the JSON files, how you can connect to one particular web services or in a cloud. So that if you want to know, and all this networking functionality is very important in your particular app. So that is the intention, means that is the functionality where we are going to use networking. You learned about how your application can talk to the outside world through the use of an SMS messaging and emails. Another way to communicate with the outside world is through the wireless network available on your Android device. Therefore, you will learn how to use the HTTP protocol to talk to web servers, so that you can download a text and a binary data. Underline this. You can download and text and binary data. That is, through the HTTP protocol, you can talk to that particular cloud servers or whatever maybe the web server is there. You can talk to that, and you can get information to your app. You will also learn how to browse the XML files to extract the relevant parts of an XML document, a technique that is useful if you are accessing a web services through XML only. So XML web services, especially JSON, so which is a lightweight alternative to the XML. With that, today almost all in previous things and all, we are using a XML in a particular XML. What a part you want, you can extract like that and all you can do. But today, hello, any
Sir,
doubt?
sir, someone is reading in lobby.
This is a problem always. First hour, they don't have the time sense, man. That's a disturbance. Yeah. Back here, you will also learn how to browse the XML files. To that, coming to next, besides XML web services, this chapter also covers JSON. So very important, underline that. So JSON, JavaScript object notations, which is a lightweight alternative to an XML. So that things also will be there in a network. Consuming the web services using HTTP. So one common way to communicate with the outside world is through the HTTP. It is a protocol that derives much of the web success. As you know, HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. So it's only one way you can communicate with web services. So how to communicate with that? Using an HTTP protocol, you can perform a wide variety of tasks, such as downloading a web pages from a web server, downloading a binary data. Binary data is very much downloading a binary data from that devices, especially IoT devices and all. So that is another one very important thing, and that more you can do with web services. Now, how you can download the binary data? A common task you need to perform is downloading a binary data from the web. For example, you may want to download an image from a server so that you can display it in your application. 100%. any song you are downloading, or any media or things if you are downloading, almost all it will be of a binary data. So that how you can download that and how you can connect to that particular website. For example, many applications will be there like that, where they can download a song or play a song, like any song playing apps you can take. So Ghana and that whatever the songs, different geo music, whatever is there and all. Once I will search, for example, so and so ASPB songs, for example, I'll tell you songs. If I search, automatically that songs will be there. I'll play that. But that song will not be downloaded and it will play. That is very important. Download is different. So again, if you want to play that particular thing, for example, if you remove that particular app, you can't play that. That means that at that particular instant of time, only the binary data of that will be connected to the particular server, and then you can play. So like that, if you want to download the things and you want to keep, for that also you need this particular binary data. Coming, download image is a function which method is synchronous, that is it will not return control until the image is downloaded. Calling it directly will freeze the UI of your activity. So here one of the function is a download image. What happens is in a synchronous method which will be there. What is a synchronous method? Once if you tell downloaded, until the download completes, it never leaves your phone. Means other activities you can't do, and it will freeze the user interface. This is not allowed in Android 3.0 and later. All synchronous code must be wrapped using an async task class. So you have to wrap that using a asynchronous class. So this is a damn important thing. We will do practically. Don't worry about that. So when we are doing that, whatever the synchronous methods is there, that we will make it as an asynchronous by wrapping on that particular methods using a class called as an async task. Using an async task enables you to perform a background task in a separate thread and then return the result in a UI thread. So you know the thread concepts, as already you were studying in Java and all, right? So that's why I'm telling you Java is a very important, which you should know and all. So here what it will be there, it will be background thread will be keep on work. Background task will be there for one particular thread. You will assign this async task. Then automatically it will return the result in a UI thread. I think thread programming is there, example program is there in a Java. So you will feel what a simple program like that, but application of that is damn good. That way you can perform a background operations without needing to handle a complex threading issues. To call the download image with asynchronously, you need to wrap the code in a subclass of async task class. That we'll see in practical. You have to wrap that particular things in Java and all. You can see how you can wrap a method. Downloading a text files, and then how you can download any text files, whichever is there, any of PDF format, of Word format, like that. These are the text files. So plain text. Besides downloading a binary data, you can also download a plain text content. For example, you might want to access a web services that returns a string of random codes. So how you can do this particular thing, accessing a web services. The previous section showed how to download some plain text from a server. Very often you need to download a XML file and parse that contents. A good example of this is consuming the web services. Therefore, in this section, you will learn how to connect to a web service using the http.get method. So first, you should connect to a website. So once learning on that, downloading a plain text and all, so same download method only we'll use there also. Now first connecting to that, you need to download a XML files and browse that contents. Means you have to take out the contents how from that particular XML files. How first you have to connect to the HTTP. How you can connect http.get method. Once the web service returns a result in XML, you extract the relevant parts and display it contents using a toast class. Means XML will be returned from web. What the things we need from that particular XML, you will take out that and you will display that in your app using a toast class. You know that example we have seen in the send SMS. Project. In this example, you use the web method from this particular link, whatever is their web method. You go and you search once, so you will get all this particular things, right? Definitions will be there. This web method is from a dictionary web service that returns the definition of a given word. So how the particular word, meaning of the particular word and all. So in this way, we are, this example, in this way, we are going to link to the particular web service. So now you can see here how you can extract the data and things and all here. So the word, whatever the returns is there in that, how you can take out the things. So Apple, how the data they have taken and all. There's an example which is there in your textbook. You can see this. So how meaning of that particular word, whenever you will give it in an apple, so how you are going to take apple. So fragments, probably the period for that unique, how, what is the meaning of that particular apple. So in this way, you will get this XML file. From this XML, you have to take out the data and you have to display like this. So in this way, we are doing. The another way is consuming a JSON services. Now, almost all to say the previous XML things and all is not there. Practically, when we do, we'll go with the JSONs. You learn how to consume XML web services by using a HTTP to connect it to the web server and then obtaining the results in XML. You also learn how to use the DOM to frost the result of the XML document. However, manipulating the XML documents is computationally expensive operation for a mobile devices for the following reasons. Note down the reasons. The reasons are XML documents are lengthy. It needs a more space. Especially in a mobiles and all, this will become a problem. So they use the tags to embed information, and size of the XML document can get very big pretty quickly. A large XML document means that your device has to use more bandwidth to download it, which translates into a higher cost. So this is one very, very important. Then XML documents are more difficult to process. As shown earlier, you have to use DOM to traverse the tree in order to locate the information you want. You have to use this DOM. This is the addition one. In addition, DOM itself has to build the entire document in memory as a tree structure before you can traverse it. So for that, it needs a more memory. So this is of both the memory and a CPU. Just a minute. CPU intensive is required for that. A much more efficient way to represent the information exists in a form of a JSON. Now today, almost all we are using this particular JSON only to extract the data. Even if you want to extract the data using a Python from any cloud or any Firebase and all, using JSON only, you are going to do that. So if you want, you can try in a Google that how to extract the data from a website using Python or using in an Android app. If you type like that, lot of videos will be there which will show you how you can do practically and all using a JSON. JSON is a lightweight data interchange format that is easy for humans to read and write. This is important. Very easily, if you should see the JSON code, it's easily you can read what data it is. It is also easy for machines to cross and generate the following lines of code show what a JSON message looks like. You can see now. It is very much important. Just I will show you. Be on a line. I tried to put that. Just a minute. Just I'm back here. Just a minute. I'll stop. Share entire screen. Share it. Yeah. Back here. Yeah, you can see that's just an example. It's very easy. This it is. That's it. Data will be there like this. But in XML, it will be not there. You have to make a tree structure, and afterwards, in a tree structure, you have to traverse that tree. You know, in data structures, you have to traverse that, then you have to extract the data. But here, it will be not like that. It's very easy. It defines an object with three properties: name, age, and a car. So how you can handle it? Person name is equal to object dot name and object dot age. Defining like that, you can get the things. It's very easy to get at all. If you go JSON like this in a websites and all, you can see that, and you can learn very easily. It's not so big and all. Especially for a projects and all, when you are doing this things you can do easily. Now, so like this, the JSON files will be there, and you can connect to that, and you can extract data. How to parse means JSON parse functions will be there, so you can extract that particular data, and you can transfer that in a CSV format or an Excel format, whatever you want and all. So later on, you can use that how you want in your app and all. Like that, you can do. Now coming to the next thing, that is sockets programming. We have seen the use of HTTP to consume XML and JSON web services. While most web services use HTTP for communication, they inherently suffer from one huge disadvantage: they are stateless. When you connect to a web service using HTTP, every connection is treated as a new connection. The web server does not maintain a persistent connection with the clients. So always, this is the nature of an HTTP, that whenever you will go with an HTTP connect request or get connect request, always it will take us in a new connection. So a persistent connectivity will not be there between you and means your app and that particular server. If you want your application to maintain a persistent connection to the server and be notified by the server whenever changes occur, you need to use a programming technique known as sockets programming. So this is the another. I think in networks you have learned already, and I've also taught you the socket programming, right? Right? Oh, yeah. Socket programming, I only taught you, right? In networks, it is there. Oh, yeah. Mother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So same concept here. Will you see how you have to? Why I'm trusting and telling that already you have learned. Maybe you have learned like that. ನಮಗೆ ಬರೀ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ even in a big projects and all every apps whatever is there, let you take Flipkart, Amazon, ಏನೇ ಆಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದ್ರ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ನೇ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ academics as in small programs, that is to know about that. But practical use ಅಂತೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It will be there practical use always. So that's why I'm telling you, whenever you are learning in a concept, you should know the practicalness of that. That is very much important. So socket programming is a technique through which you use to establish a connection between a client and server. This you did already. You did in a lab and all already, right? So you may did in home system, giving a local host address like that. You may did, but practically you will do in a different way. That's the only thing you have to learn. You can build an Android chat client application that connects to a socket server, so all your chat communications, whatever apps is there, so that will always use this particular socket programming. Means chatting, many apps today, they will tell always we are with WhatsApp. So whatever help line you want, almost all calling the help centers has been reduced, I can say like that. So where you can get almost all help through the WhatsApp chatting nowadays for different companies. So in that particular, especially apps, like any companies you can take, like insurance companies, sorry, banking companies, asking Alaska, like that. So what ILP you want, you can ask that and all. Everyone will prefers only that, even in a Hola cabs, Uber, like that. So always, what is the benefit to the companies and all? Maintaining the help centers with the workers, interacting with the persons is reduced. The cost has been reduced for them. That's a benefit what they are getting. So why can't they use? So that's why this type will be there. Multiple applications can connect to the server and chat at the same time. That also can be done. That I have told you, when you are doing in a client program, when you are connecting to the server, in a server side also you will have a numbers. 5 you are giving. Remember the program. 5 you are going to give. That's a priority of connectivity. Is how you are going to give. So multiple client sockets can connect to the server. That already you have seen, and you did even the programs. Coming to the activities on a web service. A service is an application in Android that runs in the background without needing to interact with the user. Playing background music. Note. Services are also ideal for situations in which there is no need to present a UI to the user. Always. Any service things, so for example, any songs, means apps and all, whatever will be there, a song is playing, you can come back still until you will make a fuss of that, it will keep on playing. You can do other works also. This things how you can do playing background music. Continually logs the geographical coordinates of the device. That is, wherever the person is moving continuously, how Google will come to know where you are, and like that. So continuously you can track your the server can track where the longitude and the latitudes of that particular number. Why? That's why we'll tell while downloading a different applications and all in a mobile, be conscious. Why? Because even they will share your information also. For example, I will tell you, when frequently you will go to one particular restaurant in holidays and all, frequently if you are visiting one particular place and all, then you get automatically the advertisement messages and all nearby. Another restaurants also will give you the information that these are also good, you can come for an holidays. How they can know you? So these things, that is, some apps will be there where they will watch that frequently where you are, that monitoring the location, which we have discussed, and they will track your information, put that in a cloud, they will sell it. So really, today, information is money. When IoT is mixes with this particular apps and all, no cloud, this and all everything. So information has become a money. So like all the businesses is going on. So how the benefit, how many customers are coming to restaurant, going out, how many customers are going to the mall. So what is the benefit of the mall there? How much profit is getting? Everything you can track. Means if they want, they can track. Like way I will tell Google will always monitor you like that. Creating your own services, you will learn how to start and stop the services. So how you will start? See, this in this way: start service, stop service, service started. On bind function. You know this on bind function. Server side, you are going to use method enables you to bind activity to a server, to your service. Whatever service is there, you are going to bind that. On start command method is called when you start the service explicitly using a start service method. Consistent starts tricky so that the service will continue to run until it is explicitly stopped, especially your background music. You can see that practically. You can see that. What I will show now in my smartphones, and you do use it to that. I think always. So you gonna like that. Any of the apps you take and you listen to the songs, you go back. You can do other works, chat. You open a WhatsApp, whatever you want. You can do. Songs will keep on coming until you open the app. You will pause that particular thing. The on destroy method is called when the service is stopped using a stop service method. This is where you clean up the resources used by your services. So these things also important. All services that you have created must be declared in the Android manifest XML. So what services you are creating, that definitely you have to create here in a manifest. That don't forget that. That is, if you want your service to be able to other applications, you can always add an intent filter with an action name like this. So others. Applications will must also use, you can use your thing service, means just you have to add up this intent filter in manifest XML, that you know that for SMS and all permissions we have taken. To start a service, use the start service method like this in your Java code. So start service new intent like this. Don't worry, we'll do these things. If you are calling this particular service from an external application, then call to the start service method looks like this. If from external application, if you want to take, you can do like this. You will make your own, means you can do like this. Stopping the service will be done using this particular method. Right? You can try on your own if you want. The same methods only will use there. Then communication between services and activities. Activity is different and services is different. Often a service simply executes in its own thread independently of the activity that calls it. That you have to keep in your mind. Always it will be keep on running. For example, you may have a service that periodically logs to the geographical location of a device to a database, invoking an activity from a service. It will keep on tracking. Service will be calling. One event occurs, then activity should be done there. So like that, you can relate activities within a services. Binding activities to services when you have to relate. Real world services are usually much more sophisticated, requiring the passing of a data so that they can do the job correctly for you. Scenario, for example, suppose you now want to let the calling activity determine what files to download instead of hard coding them in the service. So like that. First, in a calling activity, you create an intent object specifying the service name and all. Then you are going to do that. Like that, you can bind many functions will be there like that of binding and activities to the services. For example, always monitoring the means the moisture level of the things. Suddenly. The moisture level decreases, so it's a, you need an activity there, you need a notification, or you need a SMS to be sent back, means you want a information from that particular server. So there's an activity there, but what is the services? Always copying the moisture level from that particular Arduino board, means whatever a moisture sensor is there, from there through the Arduino board, whatever the moisture level, every time it will go on keeping into the cloud. Continuously it's keeping. But whenever it changes, means whenever it's down, so whenever it's dried up, some value will be there. How to catch that value? Then activity will be initiated there. On the services end, you need to extract the data passed into that intent object in on start command. That have to do. So these are all the services means techniques which is there in a model 3. My plan actually means if exam dates are not announced, my plan is actually I want to show everything practical to you and each every app like a project. I want to show this, even a location based downloading a binary files and the text files, that one particular project I want to do, means app I want to do, and then communicating with a web services, connecting to cloud, extracting data, putting the data into the cloud using a Json. So that I want to, means my plan is like that to show a demonstration of practical things. So you will do that. Don't worry about that. First, you go with your exams and all clearly. Don't worry about that. Later on, you can do the things. If you cooperate with me, definitely I'll make ready within span of this all 1 month. I'll make some apps and all like this, and I will make it ready, and I will tell you, explain you, and you can do other things later. Um, so this ends the third module, right? I'll stop here. Back. Yeah. Now, let it be. Don't worry about that now too much about a second step. Why? Because now you should back to first step. Now recall everything from today only. The thing after today, from tomorrow onwards, be concentrate on your first semester. Start studying the first semester subjects. Why? Because not only you, it's a human nature that once if we leave one particular topic or any information like that, if you doesn't frequently look into that, definitely will forget it. I think 100% every one of you have forgotten. If you are consistently daily half an hour or 1 hour, as I told you previously, if you are reading for semester subjects, you will be in touch. You don't feel any more stress. But those who are not did this exercise, for you now you should at least the gap is there of 2 weeks. Recall that. So put on a timetable for subject so much which you will feel difficult, make that start reading the things. But any doubts is there, especially in my subject data structures and all, usually will forget it. Those who are not studied that, definitely tracing and writing in a code, you will forget it. Why? Because almost all it's a practical sense subject. So any doubts is there and all, as I told you that, yeah, you make a group, common doubt is there for all. You can have chat with your friends, and you can make one day before. If you tell me, I'm ready to teach that back, and I will explain you clearly how it works and all. It will help you. But the best thing is solve question papers, data structures especially, and algorithms papers you take of MCA previous, you can solve that. two papers, that is different subjects in previous. You take that according to your syllabus, what questions is there of that papers, you try to solve that. If you do like that, definitely in data structures, almost all will get. Otherwise, whatever questions I have given to you, each and every module I have given a questions to you. I think so. Hello, ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ವಾ? I have given some 32 or 35 questions. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಶೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ನಾನು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ನನಗೆ. Am I right? After making some group, yeah, that group fellows, whoever you are there, no, you share that. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that will makes you very very useful for you. Why? Because almost all questions I have covered. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ತೆಗೆದು ಓದೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನನ್ನ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಈಗ ನಾನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹಾಗೆ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಈಗ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಇದು IA ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ 1, IA ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ 2, IA ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ 3, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು 30 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓದ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. If you read question and answer like that, it will makes you very easy to face the exam. Not like theoretically reading from beginning of the textbook and all. I think so. This is a way. If you study DS, it will makes you very easy. So ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್, ಸರ್ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅವತ್ತು, ನನಗೆ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ವೈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರೀಡ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು. 100% ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Yes, sir.
ರೈಟ್. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು 32 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೇನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್. ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಇದೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನು ಒಂದು 5 ಗ್ರೂಪೋ 4 ಗ್ರೂಪೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ 4 groups, 4 or 5 groups. ಐ ಫರ್ಗಾಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆಯಾ? 14 ಜನ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ 14 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಮರ್ತೋದ್ರಾ? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸೊ. ಸೊ 14 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದು 4-5 ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದ್ದಂಗಿದೆ. ನೀವು ಅದು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸೆಂಡ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಯು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಏನೋ, ಓಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. I will check once whether what you can write and all. If you send me, I am ready. We have to help.
Sir, 4 groups
ಏನಪ್ಪಾ?
4 groups ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
4 groups ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೀವು ನನಗೆ 4 ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು 4 groups ಕಳ್ಸಿಕೊಟ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಯಾರು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಳ್ಸಿಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಓದ್ಕೊಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. 35 questions plus internal questions is more enough. Almost all cover ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್. So all the best for your exams. I think this is the last class of mine for before exams. So all the best for you. Exams, data structures, everyone should get a good marks, right? Especially, and you should write in a good way. And exam, it will be there as we did a mock exam. Correct alva? Same method allirutte. Module 1 or 2, first one or second one. Next to module 2 nalli 2, 3 like that. 3, 4 like that. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಹುಡುಗರು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಮಾಡಿ. ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅದು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಬಿಡಿ, ದಿನಗಳಾದ್ರೂ ಇದಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಡೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಆ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ನಾವು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಥಿಯರಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇರೋದು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್. ಬರೀ ಥಿಯರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಥಿಯರಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್. ನಾವು ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. Theory is very much important for you. Why? Because it's offline, right? So study well for your exams. All the best once again. Now I'll stop the recording.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ